What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one wants to just very briefly talk about some other factors out there that could have a big effect on the markets. I'm also going to talk more about Tesla's deliveries, how the share price is looking, and some other factors like that. Before I do anything like that, though, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening with the market so far. SPY was down 0.24%. Tesla is also up, at least this is as of Friday. And the question is, how will the market move going forward? Well, this is going to be heavily dependent on some more factors that come out. Right now, technicals look a little bit weaker on SPY and Tesla. I did show you guys that yesterday, but I want to talk about this news that came out about the government shutdown. Goldman Sachs is saying that there's a 90% chance that we do get a government shutdown, and that would be very bearish for the stock market. So once again, they're saying that the odds of the government avoiding a shutdown in the next 3 days are not looking good, according to Goldman Sachs economists. They said that a shutdown this year has looked likely for several months, and now they're saying the odds have risen to 90%. That's the chief economist from them. That's from the head of global research at Goldman Sachs. And they're saying that this is the most likely possibility. It may happen on October 1st. That is going to be very important. Now, we saw the Senate actually, they've been working on, they released what is likely going to be a last chance deal to avert the closure. It's a 79-page bill, and it's going to keep the government open until November 17th. So they have to negotiate spending, the broader spending and things like that. Congress needs to pass it before the end of the year, of course. And this is going to have a big effect on everyday people's lives. So it's very important to go through this. Now, there's a chance that they can reach a final last minute decision. There's been a little progress made according to what the chief economist has said. And so far, there's a very, very high probability of us expecting some kind of shutdown in Q4. That's what they're still trying to say. Now, one thing you want to actually talk about is the fact that a shutdown could also be used as a tactic against political opponents and things like that. Even if it does, gamble with other people. I know it sounds very disgusting and very horrid, but it is the truth, and it's very sad, right? It's going to affect a lot of different people out there. There's this news coming out right here about how any sort of government shutdown is set to disrupt military, VA services, and the list goes on. This is going to affect millions of people's lives. It's going to be very painful. So I really hope this doesn't happen, but the odds are favoring it so far, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens moving forward. So with this, all this news coming out, I mean, I could talk more about the politics and like things like that. I really don't like talking about politics too much. I used to talk a lot more about it a couple of years ago. I used to just research so many different things, and that just led to like massive headaches all the time. It's like a never-ending battle in a war. It is important to be well informed about how the current political lens is looking, but I just don't want to like spend way too much time focusing too much on these individuals who are once again who may have completely different agendas. Let me just say that. All right. So, anyways, with that going on, though, and this is like the much bigger picture. With all of this going on, this is bearish for the markets. This could become very bearish, and this could lead to another big sell-off. So we have to be very careful. And we'll have to wait and see what happens by October 1st. Could they come up with some last-minute extension? There's a possibility. Hey, I'm going to try to give them somewhat of the benefit of the doubt, but it's looking unlikely right now. So we'll wait and see what happens. It's looking more likely like it's about to happen. This could cause the market to just be rattled. We have head and shoulders forming, like which I talked about yesterday, on all these different tickers. Even Nvda has it, Tesla has it, SPY, QQQ. So not looking the best approaching this. Now, on top of this, something very big happening over the weekend is going to be Tesla's delivery report. The expectations are all over the place, but Tesla is expected to see a decline relative to the previous record. So this is important because, Tesla is a company that has such high expectations. They have a tendency of beating and beating and beating and absolutely crushing estimations and expectations. They're historical for that, and they're notorious for just defying the odds over and over again. So this company has very high expectations, and we're still expecting them to do relatively well. And this is also a very good opportunity for many shorts to take advantage of any moments that Tesla just barely meets expectations or Tesla misses. And there are other factors as well. So looking at this, we have some estimates right here. Barrett is saying 493,000 deliveries. I think this may be a typo because I saw them say something different earlier. I don't know if that's correct. Deutsche Bank is saying 440,000. RBC Capital Markets is saying 462,000, and others are saying the same thing. The overall consensus is around an optimistic 462,000 deliveries, which is just a little bit down compared to the last quarter. Now, I saw this article right here from Baird. They're coming out and they're saying that Tesla's expected to miss their Q3 delivery report. And they're saying that they're not going to meet this. So this is going to have a very big effect on Tesla and how it ends up moving. We're going to find out what happens. I mean, I'm not going to try to guess how this will look like or just look at data, because the problem with doing that is it's not always going to be accurate. There's so much data that's not going to be reported. So the best thing to do is just be patient. Don't try to guess what it's going to be like, and just wait and see for the numbers to come out, because they're coming out very soon. It should be coming out on Sunday morning. So it's going to be telling. But what I can tell you is that the share price of Tesla and the price action does not look good approaching this big event. To be honest with you guys, it does not look pretty. Because let's just close this up. Like I talked about yesterday, we have this head and shoulders forming on Tesla. It looks very clean. We also have this big gap all the way down to 215. So there's a chance we're about to get a rug pull. We got a rejection of the, I think it was the 0.382 retracement area. Not the best for Tesla. It did close very close to 250, which is decent, but now it's all up to deliveries. That's going to determine the biggest move. If Tesla meets expectations, okay, they could still sell off, because just barely meeting expectations is not enough for many investors. If they beat, they should. If they have to beat by some decent margin, by at least 5 to 10,000, if they beat by just a few thousand, they could still pump. It's still possible for it to retest 260, then reject. And if they just barely meet or they miss, anything at expectations or lower will most likely lead to a sell-off for Tesla. Meaning Tesla would just start dropping and dropping all the way down to these levels and potentially retest our 200 EMA on the daily all the way down to 230. And if it breaks below that, I mean, the next level is going to be way down here to fill this gap. So I'm not trying to be pessimistic, guys. I'm very optimistic for Tesla's future. I believe so much in this company, but for the short term, there are going to likely be pains coming to the company. Tesla's a company that has hardships. It has, multiple macroeconomic factors that are affecting it, and their sales in China declined a bit. So we'll see how much that affects them, because China is a big factor for Tesla's deliveries, and there are potential slowdowns being reported according to some data. So we'll have to wait and see how the data looks. Let's just be very patient. We'll just sit on the sidelines and wait. Okay, I'm not going to try to predict it or do anything like that. I'll wait and see what the numbers look like, and that's going to cause a very, very big move for the share price, most likely. The odds favor downside. It's a little bit more probable. We have this gap above, so it is possible for it to do something unexpected. But like I said before, this setup looks more bearish, and we have the gap below. And it's not just Tesla, but I could just switch over to a bunch of charts and show you this. I mean, if you look at SPY, it has a sloppy looking head and shoulders, but it's looking a little weak. I also went over the technicals yesterday on SPY, so if you want more details, you could look at my video from yesterday. The QQQ also happens to have a head and shoulders pattern developing on it, which is once again not the best of signs for the bulls. Nvda stock, same thing. We have a head and shoulders forming, which means that this could be in a nice topping process right here. So with Nvidia forming it as well, there could be a rejection going to Nvidia. Nvidia could start selling off and retest 430 or even break below that. There is a risk of that as we approach October. October also tends to be bearish for the markets, and we tend to see the market bottom around October before it tries to bounce around November and December. So we'll have to wait and see. With that said, I think I went over the majority of tickers, and I just hope this video was very helpful. So just know that although it is possible for there to be some kind of bounce in the markets, I'm not leaning as much in that direction with the current technicals. And just know we have a possible bearish catalyst. I mean, according to Goldman Sachs' best or chief economist, they're saying that there's a 90+% chance that's going to happen. We're going to get this government shutdown, and it's going to lead to lots of disruptions in our economy. So it's very important to know this. You have to be ready for it. And also, I just wish the best for anyone that could be affected by it. I mean, I know how hard this could be for people who may not be able to get their salaries, people who are going to be missing on benefits, and just other factors like that. So it's going to be very tough. We will get through this. I am confident we will recover. So never give up, guys. And just know that you must stay safe, do what's best for your own future. And I'll see you guys very soon tomorrow for the final video of the weekend when I break down what's going to likely happen to the markets as we approach the early days of the trading week. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you, and peace out.